Yo, RX late, but back with another recap of UFC London Aspinall versus Tybora. It happened. It was 15 fights, and it was a very long card, but it was very underwhelming. 6 finishes only. A lot of decisions. A couple boring fights. It was a very average card. It's not even close to the best UFC fight night in London. That still is Volkov and Aspinall. This is about the same as the Blades Aspinall card. It's just okay. Like, they got a lot of British fighters, but like, I think a pay-per-view works better there with Leon, at least, because like, I think having Tybura and Aspinall co-main to Leon and Colby here, like, let's say this was 291, and then let's say 292 Gaethje Dustin co-main or some shit. But let's say this was 291 and you just throw like fucking some better fights on it. Aspinall, Tybura, co-main, Leon, Colby. I think that'd be a better use of London, because to be honest, you're really trying to sell a London card off Tom Aspinall and my McCann, but we'll get to that later. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty whatever card. Like I said, it was just really it dragged on really bad at times, but I'm sorry. Yeah, it dragged on, but overall wasn't the worst card in the world, and yeah, let's stop talking about it and let's recap it. So, please like, comment, sub. 100 subs goal by the end of the year. And as always, let's recap a fuck ton of fights. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. A lot of fights I'll probably just skim through, but we'll see, man. This could either be an hour plus or 40 minutes. I don't make promises, but what I do promise is getting up perfect to begin the night. And we begin the night with a great fight between Jafel Filho versus Daniel Barez. What a crazy fight. And pretty much the whole round, Barez beat the shit out of Filho until Filho got to ground, locked up a submission. He got put on his back. Barez jumped in, got subbed. Phil with an insane comeback after just getting destroyed, man. The same thing he almost did against Mukayev, just come back after getting fucking beat up. Like, Phil does not quit. Like, mad respect to the dude. He does not quit at all. He is a dog. And two performances into the UFC, there's a lot of promise with this kid. Like, almost beating Mukayev with that submission that should have got him a win, and then getting destroyed. Could have been finished any moment in a 10-8 round, but throws up an arm triangle and gets it. Crazy shit. Phil is a dog, and he's actually like. It's not like a Bryan Barberena who's just a dog. Phil's actually pretty good. You don't want to go to the ground with him. His striking tonight in this fight was very bad. So, overall, excuse me, Filho did not look great, but he got the win in the end. And then to talk about his opponent, Barez, not very much to say. He looked great, but he got caught. Barez is really good on the feet. He did really good kicks. Almost got to finish on a tough fighter. He did good. He did literally everything he could do. Just Filho would not go down, and when a dude won't go down, someone's going to, and it was not Filho. So yeah, you really can't say much bad about Barez here. He gave Phil everything he had, and Phil would not go down and stay down. So yeah, you can't even say much here. Just Phil's a dog, and Barez, we'll learn from this. But how do you rate? What can you learn besides? Yeah, you lost your dude who's just too tough. So yeah, I don't know. Good fight to open night. Really good fight between these two. And now to get to the fun part, who should they fight next? For Jafel, Filho, you have some options. Carlos Hernandez, I don't mind that idea. Tyson Nam, I really like that idea. You got some good options. I think he deserves a good fight. Like, cause the dude's really good, and I don't really see the point of giving them someone like fucking like, I don't fucking know, Charles Johnson or Malcolm Gordon. Like, he deserves a better fight than that. So like a Tyson Nam or a Carlos Hernandez, I think would be a little better than that. Not even getting to the boring fights yet. Yeah, I like him versus Tyson Nam. I think that'd be a pretty fun fight, and why not? Nam needs the win. Filho is on a roll right now. Would be a fun fight. To talk about his opponent, Barez, not very much you can say. Just wipe the dirt off your knees and get back in there. Who can he fight? He can beat up Denny's Bondar. You can give him Francisco Figueiredo, fucking something like that. Give a dude a little bit lower of competition. I'd say, let's say Denny's Bondar. Like, the dude is good. Let him be his first UFC win, and then get him back in there with something pretty good. So yeah, not very much more to say about this fight. Great comeback by Filho. And overall, who should they fight next? I like Jafel Filho versus fucking Tyson Nam, and I like Daniel Barez versus Denny's Bondar. Phil and Nam sounds like a great fight, and Barez can get back on track beating Bondar. So yeah, great comeback by Phil, man. Dude's a dog. After that, we go into the second fight of the night, and a fight that was underwhelming, as we got Bruna, Brazil versus Shauna Bannon. Shauna Bannon, I guess is how you say it. It's not Bannon, Bannon. Sure. For 15 minutes, Brazil just was better. Like, to just get right to the point. The best way I can describe this fight, Brazil was literally just better for 15 minutes. In the first two rounds, I think Bisping said it best for once, but Bannon was trying to fight a fucking point fight. She was not aggressive, not doing much. She was just trying to point fight, and as Brazil ran away with the fight, Bannon should have woke up and saw that what she was doing didn't work. She did in the third, and probably a good chance she won the third, but overall, she kind of fucked herself fighting in such a terrible way. She went in there to point fight. I don't know if jitters got to her or what, but just really weird debut for Bannon. I do think Bannon is good from what I've seen, but she really, I'm just gonna throw it up to jitters. I think if this was in the like Apex or something, she would have done a little better. In England debut, big fight, jitters. I would like to see Bannon in the Apex next, more relaxed, see how she does. I think it'd be better. But not to shy away from Bruna Brazil, she looked great. I think we knew Bruna Brazil was really good, just she ran into Denise Gomes, who's just Denise Gomes. Brazil just showed she can fight for 15 minutes and look good, and she did. She kickboxed great. The little wrestling we saw looked fine. Brazil looked great, man. There's very little to say here. This is the Brazil we saw in a contender series. Just a really good fighter. And to knock off Bannon like that in England, good shit. Good win for Bruna. I'm happy for Bruna. I think she's a good prospect, man. Both of these two are good prospects, I think. Just on this night, Bruna Brazil was better. And just not much more you can say. That's just how the fight game goes, man. Yeah, great point for Bruna Brazil. And who should she fight next? Coming off a pretty big win. I like the idea of her versus Diana Bobita. That's really the only one I see that I like. Maybe that's probably a better fight for Bobita, but for Bruna Brazil, I really like that Bobita fight. Both 1-1 their last two, coming off decent wins. Why not? Why not? You could book this in maybe the Blades Almeida card, or maybe Fight Night end of the year, December. Would be a good prelim. Decent fight. Prospect versus veteran. See who comes out. I think that'd be a good fight. And yeah. Now to talk about Bannon a little more. I hope she can bounce back, because I do think she has potential. Again, I just think the moment got to her, because I don't think her game plan was to fight so bad for 10 minutes. She woke up in the third, and when she woke up, it was a fun fight and good, but she woke up way too late to where she needed to finish she was not gonna get. So hopefully she can get back on track in the next one, and it's gonna be a step down competition, because Bruna Brazil is a tough debut. Like, I know a lot of people wrote Brazil off, how I kinda did to an extent after the Gums fight, but like, Gums is a dog and Brazil is a good fighter. Just she ran into someone who's way better. So, and for Bannon, I think it's the same thing. She's good, but she just ran into someone who's better right now. Dude, fuck, this was her 6th fight. So give her time. But who could she fight next? You got some options. Melissa Martinez is always an option there, coming off a bad loss. Always got someone like Jinyu Fry, Elise Reed. Either of those two would work just fine. Maria Oliveira got cut. Randa Marcos is always there, I think. So, you got many options for Bannon. I don't hate the idea of her versus... Shit. Shit. Trying to fucking, like, I don't hate her. I get Jin needs to be cut. How about... We'll go with Melissa Martinez, I guess. She looked pretty bad in her UFC debut, so why not? Melissa Martinez. Both lost their UFC debut, both lost their O in the UFC on their debut. So yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Melissa Martinez and Shauna Bannon. Fuck. So yeah, not much more to say. Great performance by Bruna. Happy she got in the win column, and I hope Bannon can keep her head up. And not much more else to say besides who should I fight next. So I like Bruna Brazil versus Diana Bobita, and I like Shannon Bannon. I'm sort of saying that wrong. Versus Melissa Martinez. Brazil and Bobita makes sense. Good fight. Bannon and Martinez, both debutees, going their second fight after losing their debut. So yeah. Great performance of Bruna Brazil. After that, there's not really much to say about this fight, as we have our first kind of this fight was alright. As we have Chris Duncan versus Jonny Ash moves. Not a good night for people undefeated. Long story short, the first round, it was a feeling out process for Jonny. Duncan was pedal to the metal, like always. And he was winning the round, but late in the round, Duncan threw a head kick that was blocked by Jonny's forearm, and it completely snapped his forearm. And then for 10 minutes, the second and third, Jonny fought with one arm, literally. He, threw maybe one punch with his left arm. So, it sucks to see. I think the fight would have been different if I'm not saying Jonny would have won, but I think it would have been more competitive if he actually had two arms. But what can you do? Get your fucking forearms or wrist or whatever broken by a head kick? You can't do much. The fact that he went 10 minutes on one arm is insane. So mad respect to him on that account. And yeah, Duncan fought a smart fight. Yeah, in the last two rounds, he just fought smart. In round one, he fought crazy, but he just fought he knew he had a weak opponent. He just went in there and fought smart. So, not really much to say. Just a shame to see such an injury kind of ruin a fight to an extent. So, fuck. Fuck. Yeah, not really much more to say besides who should they fight next? Duncan, I think, now 2-0 in the UFC. This was a lot better performance than the performance he had against Omar Morales. But I think he deserves a pretty, a step up. Yunal's really good, but a step up from Yunal would be nice. They cut Rafael Alvarez, or I would say that fight, because that'd be pretty good. Atman Zaitar. I like that idea. Atman needs a win. Yeah, fuck it. Chris Duncan, Atman Zaitar. Yeah, why not? Sounds like a good fight to me. And then for Ash moves, I'm not gonna give a fight idea. Dude's probably gonna be out for the rest of the year. Well, no, he is gonna be out for the rest of the year and probably a good chunk of next year. Like a broken forearm. Yeah, he's done for a while. So it just sucks to see, and hopefully he heals up well. We see him back in there at ASAP. Fucking Estela Nunes last week. This week, fuck. Why are y'all breaking your arms? Stop it. Not much more to say. Duncan fought smart and got another win. And who should they fight next? I like Chris Duncan versus Atman Zaitar. I like Ash moves just to heal up and come back. So Duncan and Zaitar just screams a great fight on a fucking fight night main card in the Apex. So yeah, not much more to say. Good performance by Duncan. This fight. God damn it, Pannie. After that, we go into a fight that was just frustrating to watch. Because who I picked. And we got Ketlen Vieira versus Pannie Kianzad. So, the long and short of this fight was, for 10 minutes, Ketlen just held Pannie down and Pannie didn't do shit. But then in the third, halfway through the third, Pannie realized, oh, I'm just gonna, not lay on my back and actually try and win. So she got on top and just beat the shit out of Ketlen for 2 minutes. And easily took the third, but you already lost the first 2 rounds, you idiot. I'm so confused what Pannie was doing, especially after seeing the third. She could have probably got up if she tried, but she seemed so okay with just laying there. It's the most frustrating shit to watch ever. It's even worse when Pannie ain't a bad fighter. Pannie's really good. She didn't get to show her striking, but we know her striking's good. Her ground game was not bad when she actually fucking tried. She can't stop a takedown. I'll give her that. She can't stop the takedown, but she can get up, I feel, but she just didn't try. Very frustrating. And again, Ketlen Vieira no less. You made Ketlen Vieira look good. How? Ketlen Vieira's terrible. Just a frustrating fucking fight for Pannie Kianzad. It's like, dude, what the fuck? If I actually would have bet on Pannie here, I would be fucking fuming. Because you did not care. It's like, dude, if the only thing you could say is rust, but I doubt it because you didn't do anything. So, very frustrating fight, but what can you really do besides just move on? Go on to the next one and talk about who they should fight next. Yeah, I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say about Ketlen Vieira. She's still not good. But to talk about talk about who they should fight next. For Ketlen, she's kind of in a weird spot. If she fights down, who is she gonna fight? Already lost to, just beat, lost to Macy or Rosa? Like, I like that Rosa fight, but I doubt it actually fucking happens. I would be very fucking surprised if it happened. And then who's she gonna fight above her? None of these three. She already lost to, not gonna waste her time. So Ketlen's kind of in a weird spot, so probably gonna be fighting down again against Macy or Carol, and that's fine. Or even Norma Dumont. Actually, Norma Dumont's not bad. If they don't do the Irene fight with Dumont, that Ketlen makes sense. Yeah, she's gonna be fighting it down. She's gonna be fighting down again, which you can't really do much else when you lost to you already fought the 4 people under you. And the 3 people under you ain't gonna fight you because they don't want to waste their time. So, yeah, Ketlen's gonna fight down Yana or against Macy, Carol, or Norma. Nothing more to say. And then for Pannie, she really needs to fight down. Her versus maybe Josie Nunez or Carol Hossa. Would be nice. Or a rematch with Macy Chasson would be cool. Any of those work. She really needs to fight down and show up for her next fight, because that was bad. She can fight Yana. That was really bad by Pannie. And Ketlen might not even be better than... I'll take fucking Rosa and fucking... No, I'll at least take Rosa over Ketlen, so... Like, just weird. Just a frustrating fucking fight for Pannie Kianzad pickers like myself. But what can you do? Fighters are gonna be fighters, and you just sit back, watch, and get annoyed. So, not much to do. Besides today, who should they fight next? Like, Ketlen Vieira versus... We'll go Carol Hossa. And I like Pannie Kianzad versus, we'll say, Josie Nunez. Fuck it. Why not? Why not? So, those don't have to be the fights, but why not? They seem fun, so let's do it. Not much more to say. Pretty boring fight. The first boring fight of a couple. Yeah, whatever. Next. After that, we head to our next fight, which was pretty fun, even if it had its issues at times. As we have Makhmud Muradov versus Bryan Barberena. The fight overall was just Muradov being better for 15 minutes. The only reason the fight had the most memorable moments that didn't involve Barberena getting beat up was headbutts. They headbutt each other twice, badly, and it was a sloppy fight after a while, but it pretty much went how we all expected. Muradov's just gonna be better for 15 minutes. Barberena is 34, moving up a weight class, on a 2-fight losing streak. It just had this was pretty much writing on the wall for what was gonna happen, and it happened. So yeah, it pretty, like I said, for 3 rounds, The only thing that didn't happen that surprised me was a no finish, but Bryan Barberena's too tough for his own good, so not really too shocked by that, to be honest. Fuck. But what can you do? It's a fun fight, at least. It had its moments. But yeah, really not much more to say besides who should they fight next. Muradov looked really good. His gas tank looked better. He just looked like a smarter fighter. And he looked good, man. A good return from Muradov, coming off 2 L's. A very understandable L to Kaio, and just an embarrassment versus GM3, but he looks good, man. He looked really good. Bryan Barberena is no joke. He's tough, and Makhmud stayed strong and beat him. A very impressive performance for him. And who should he fight next? How about Marc-Andre Barriou? Yeah, that sounds fine. Why not? That sounds like a fight that makes sense. Both on, why not? So yeah, let's do that fight. And then for Bryan Barberena, I don't know. I'm not gonna give him a fight here because I have many questions. Is he gonna get cut? Because that is 3 in a row. Where is he gonna fight now? And what do you actually do with him? If the answer to the first 2 questions is no, he's not getting cut and he's gonna fight at 185, then I don't really know what you do with him. Who can you actually give him? You're gonna be really reaching. You're gonna be giving him like fucking Jamie Pickett or Val Woodburn or some shit for someone for him to fight. So hopefully Barberena get another fight and get back on track. But at middleweight is not looking likely, and at welterweight, he's kind of fucked, to be honest. It's sad because who doesn't like Bryan Barberena, but still, it's sad. Not much more to say. Makhmud looked great and did exactly what he should have done. And who should they fight next? I like Makhmud Muradov versus Marc-Andre Barriou. Makes sense. Be a good fight probably, and why not? Not much more to say. Great performance by Muradov. After that, we head to our 6th fight of the prelims, and it was very okay, as we got Mick Parkin versus Jamal Pogues. Yeah, for 15 minutes, Parkin was just better. It's pretty much the same as Muradov. And he was just in Brazil. He was just better for 15 minutes. It was a striking match the whole time, and Parkin was better. He looked fine. He didn't show anything that great. He just showed, yeah, I'm a better striker than Jamal Pogues. Not saying much. Yeah, good debut at home, man. Build on his performance. Still very young, 27. 7's fight, he looked good. Got a lot to work on, though. He definitely loses to a lot of guys that I can think of, even unranked. He loses to a good amount of heavyweights, because he's very green, and it showed. So, but yeah, he easily won, but against a shit fighter, so. Yeah, good debut for Parkin. Like, I'm not trying to ruin his moment, but just a very whatever debut against a pretty weak fighter. So, and these betting odds were stupid the whole time. It's clear who was gonna win. Pogues is trash. But yeah, not very much more to say. Good debut for Parkin, I guess. And who should he fight next? Yes, you got some good options for him. All the usual guys like Jake Collier and all that are booked. So Carl Williams, Dontel Mays, I like that Carl Williams fight. Yeah, that sounds good. Williams coming off a pretty bad performance against Chase Sherman. Given there with Parkin, I'd probably take Williams in that, to be honest with you. He should probably, does seem like a better fighter. But you never know with low-level heavyweights, though. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck who Jamal Pogues fights. Feed him to, I don't even know who. Whoever comes off the Contender Series this year, fat heavyweight. So, yeah, not much more to say. Fine fight, good debut for Parkin, and who should he fight next? I like him versus Carl Williams. Decent fight between two heavyweight prospects. And let's see who looks better. Not much more to say. Good debut for Parkin. First guy to keep his first fighter to keep their O on this card. After that, we had to lightweight for a pretty predictable fight, even if it did have its moments of intrigue. And we have Joel Alvarez versus Marc Diakiese. In round one, Alvarez was just better on the feet, pretty much, and outstruck him. And then in the second round, he got controlled for a good amount of the round. And then late in the second, he hurt him with a headbutt, but it wasn't that bad of a headbutt compared to some other ones we've seen on the night. Diakiese went up against the cage, cried about the headbutt, even though he clearly wasn't hurt that bad. Shot in on a takedown, got caught, and Darce choked. Not very much to say. They were talking about overturning Alvarez's win. That's stupid. It was fair. It was not that bad of a headbutt, and yeah, I really don't. It's not like Diakiese was up 2-0 pretty much going into this third. If Diakiese had just controlled him the whole first and second, and then that happened and late, then sure. But no, Alvarez was gonna win that fight, and it's pretty obvious. So I don't know. Underwhelming return for Joel Alvarez. Should have looked a lot better against a shit fighter like Diakiese. But it happens, and now he's back in the win column at lightweight and ready to get back in there. I think you can throw him right in there with the ranked guys, to be honest. Like, he's good enough. We all know he's good enough. Like, you could really put him in there with any of these guys. Demir got cut, but the other three, I think you can put him in there with, and they would make a lot of sense. Or you can put him in there with some unranked, Drew Dobers, J.O. Vieira. Like, you got good options. It's just, which one do you go with? I would rather see him in a ranking, get a rankings fight, because he's more than rankings level. And since they're gonna move Demirous Magulov off the rankings, just put Joel Alvarez in them. So, yeah. And who should he fight in the rankings? I love the idea of him versus Jalen Turner. The battle of the two tallest, I'm pretty sure, lightweights. And let's see who's the weight bully champion. I think it would be a great fight. Would really like to see it. And then, not much to say about Marc Diakiese. He lost a fight he should have lost. What can you really do? And who should he fight now? 2-fight losing streak. Narulo Alves, if he ever actually fights. Yeah, fuck it, feed him to Aliev. Why not? Not much to say. Underwhelming return for Alvarez. Hopefully he can look better in the next fight. And I hope he fights Jalen Turner. So, not much to say. Who should they fight next? I like Alvarez versus Turner and Diakiese versus Aliev. Turner and Joel Alvarez, amazing fight. And Diakiese could get fed to Aliev. So, not much more to say. Good, fine return for Joel Alvarez, even if it didn't end great. And now we head to our fight of the night. A welterweight banger that I severely disrespected. As we got Jonny Parsons versus Danny Roberts. What a fight. Round 1, Roberts just picked Parsons apart on the feet, but then in the second it became a dogfight. They were just swinging, and they did not care who went down. Someone's gonna go down, and late into the second, it was Danny Roberts. Wow. What can you say? I'll start with the first thing, not about stoppage. Roberts already got dropped, I think, twice before then, and was so tired, it's not even funny. Second of all, wow, what a fight. Sluggernaut is an accurate nickname for Jonny Parsons. He went in there and just went to fucking war. And third, what a way to go out for Danny Roberts. He's probably gonna get cut now. He went out on a banger and got a bonus, so. Can't really complain. It's just a great fight. This is definitely, go watch this fight if you missed it. It was really fucking good. And now, talk about who they should fight next. Let's start with Jonny Parsons, of course. He called out Paddy Pimblett, even though Paddy's a fucking lightweight dummy. So, of course, that ain't gonna happen. But for Jonny Parsons, who can he fight? You got some options. Coming off a nice debut win, you got Ramiz Brahima, you got Gabe Green, I didn't want to do that. You got, who else do you got? Matt Brown's always there for war. Tim Means. We have many options. I like a Gabe Green fight. I think that'd be a fun one. It would make sense. And Gabe Green, if he fights like how he did against Bryan Battle, it's gonna be a quick but fun fight. So yeah, it's Jonny Parsons and fucking Gabe Green. And for Danny Roberts, 3 in a row. Time to go. Not much more to say. Yeah, so not really much more to say about this fight. Go watch if you missed it. I can't do it justice. And great fight. Who should they fight next? I like Jonny Parsons versus Gabe Green. And Danny Roberts, pack your bags. Green and Parsons just would be a really good fight. Not really much more to say. And that's a great way to end the prelims, man. I know this says prelims, I'll talk about that in a second. But, yeah, that was a fun that was a good way to end the prelims. It needed that, because besides Filho, you got really nothing. This was alright, terrible, fine, terrible, and then this was amazing. But then we head into our 7-fight main card, which underwhelming might be an understatement for this, because it was very kind of mid. And we definitely start off with the fight with the most controversy on this card. And it began in the main card because they were not going to make their 3 o'clock deadline for the main card. So they just said, fuck it, you're on the main card. So if you're wondering, that's why. But enough about that. Back to the fight. The most controversial fight of the night to begin the main card. Daniel Marcos versus Davey Grant. Robbery or not robbery? How did I score this fight? I gave Marcos round 1. I gave Grant round 2. It came down to the third. And right? Or no, yeah, I know it came down to the third. I think the judges are wrong there. I don't think it was a clear third round. I don't think a robbery at all. A really close fight that could have went either way. I scored it for Marcos, I believe. but I definitely thought Grant was gonna get the hometown bias win. But no, he bless me. He did not get the hometown bias win, Michael Bisping style. He got an L. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. Happy they didn't do a bias decision and just went for who they thought actually won. So, yeah. It was a fine chess match of a fight. Nothing special about it. Very whatever. Nothing that great about it. It was a fight. It was a Davey Grant fight, so you know it's gonna be fun. So, yeah, right now much more to say. Again, this is a fight you watch, not because it's a banger like Parsons, but just to score it. Yeah, right now much more to say about it besides who should they fight next? Fuck. For Marcos coming off a huge win in the second fight, I will say this, I think they pushed him up too quick, though. He should not be fighting Davey Grant already, but UFC's high on him, so he's gonna get these high fights, and he didn't look terrible. He fucking hung in there with a dog. And Davey Grant and won. So respect to him on that part. And now who should he fight next? Always got Douglas Silva, Andrade. Monto Jackson's right there. Douglas Silva, I guess. That would be a fun one. Douglas Silva will test anybody because it's Douglas Silva, Andrade. So, I think that just makes a lot of sense. Would be a good fight. And then for Davey Grant, we already know Davey's just gonna wipe the dirt off his knees and get back in there. So, who could he fight? You got John Castaneda, Cameron Simon, Cody Stamen, he could beat up Javid Basharat. I like that Cameron Simon fight a lot. If they don't rebook him and C-Rod, I really like that Simon fight. Or Castaneda's always there, so you got a lot of options for Dave Grant. Just which one is the UFC gonna do, I wonder. So, yeah. Not really much more to say about this fight. Really, like I said, just watch it and judge it yourself. And, yeah. Good fight. And who should they fight next? I like Daniel Marcos versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. And I like David Grant just to see who he fights. Cameron Simon, fucking John Castaneda. You got options. Which one does the UFC pick? Good fight to open the main card. After that, we head to one of two back-to-back boring-ass fights. I'm not gonna say much about this fight. Little to say. As we got Lerone Murphy versus Josh Culibao. And round one was the only close round. Could go either way. I give to Culibao. Second and third, Murphy dominated and won. Pretty terrible fight, and Culibao looked terrible. Murphy looked fine. I'm just not high on Lerone Murphy anymore. Like, yeah, he got the win here, Culibao just looked terrible. I'm not on the Lerone Murphy hype train. He really, and let's be honest, he loses to everyone in the top 15. What top 15 dude does he beat? Maybe Danny Ye. Maybe. And maybe Zombie because it's 2023 and he's 50. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not high on Lerone Murphy. He really needs to prove it, I think. So, yeah. And then, just about Josh Culibao, he just did not show up. It's simple as that. He did not show up. So, yeah. Who should they fight next? I like Lerone Murphy versus Joe Anderson Brito. Just whoever wins gets a ranking, whoever loses. I think it would be a great fight. And then for Josh Culibao, get back to the drawing board. David Onama would be a good fight. Melsick. Yeah, I like a David Onama fight, or yeah, we'll go with that. It's probably better, but we'll rock with that right now. So yeah, not very much to say. Very underwhelming fight. And who should I fight next? I like Lerone Murphy versus Joe Anderson Brito. I like Josh Culibao versus David Onama. Murphy and Brito's a great fight. Culibao and Onama sounds fun. So yeah, not much more to say. After that, we head to the second of two boring ass fights back to back. As we got Faraz Ziam versus Jai Herbert. Boring. Fucking boring. For 15 minutes, Faraz Ziam was just a better fighter. Nothing new. Let's just talk about who they should fight next, because this fight should not been on the main card. And why it was, I'll never know. No one cares about Jai Herbert. Nobody. Who should Faraz Ziam fight next? 2 wins in a row now. This one not as good as his first one, but one to win. And who could he fight? Vince Pichel would be fun. Nazim Salikov. Yeah, I like that Vince Pichel fight. I think that'd be a fun one. Why not? Yeah, let's do that. And then for Jai Herbert, was this? Now he's 1-1-1 his last 3. Who could Jai Herbert fight? Just feed him to someone. Jordan Levitt, Francisco Prado, Slava Claus, Machete, Rabovics, anyone you want him to fucking put over. Just, yeah, not much to say. Pretty bad fight. And who should they fight next? I like Faraz Ziam versus Vince Pichel. Would be a fun fight, hopefully. So let's do it. Not much to say. Now we get into the 4 fights where there's actually a good amount to say. And we begin with a weird fight between Paul Craig versus Andre Muniz. In round 1, it was a striking match, and Muniz was obviously better. In round 2, Craig got on top, got to mount after a while, rained down some ground and pound, and got the win. Paul Craig looked good. He still can't strike for shit, but overall, he looked to do what he did to Andre Muniz. Impressive. Hang down there with Andre Muniz is very impressive. And to finish him, no less, shit. Very fucking impressive. Like, the thing with Paul Craig, he would be amazing for grappling tournaments, because he's really good. He just can't strike, man. Like, he cannot fucking strike. And it's kind of funny, because he acts all tough at weigh-ins just to fight, like, Paul Craig. So, it's fucking funny, but whatever. Craig's good, and he looked really good at middleweight. It just looks like his actual weight class, not light heavyweight where he's kind of small. So, yeah, he looked good. And then for Andre Muniz, I think we've just learned in his last 2 fights he was severely overhyped, by me included. Yes, he beat Jacare, but Jacare's 50. Yes, he beat Eric Anders. Eric Anders sucks. Yes, he beat Rai-Ho in a boring fight. Now that he's fighting real competition, he is taking L's, and I don't think that's going to change. Dude's just not that good. He can do submission. He can strike better than Paul Craig. That's about it. So, not very much more to say about this fight. Besides, who should they fight next? For Paul Craig, I like the idea of him versus Derek Brunson, I feel. He beat number 14, he's gonna be number 14, Brunson's number 8. Craig was already ranked 9th at light heavyweight, why not? He could fight Imavov, well no, he can't. He could fight Brendan Allen, but not gonna happen. Hermanson, Doladze. But I like Brunson the most. I think that fight would be interesting, and just makes the most sense. For Andre Muniz, I think he should be kicked out the rankings. him and Chris Curtis should be replaced with Kyle and Fluffy, but whatever. Or Kyle and Paul Craig, but whatever. Muniz, he needs to fight out the rankings now. And the only guy I see that would make sense is Mr. Joe Pyfer. Pyfer, UFC's really high on. He does not have a fight right now. Muniz will either be number 15 or unranked. Makes sense to me. Let's do it. Joe Pyfer, Andre Muniz. Sounds good. Yeah, not very much more to say. Paul Craig looked better than ever. And who should they fight next? I like Paul Craig versus Derek Brunson, and I like Andre Muniz versus Joe Pyfer. Craig and Brunson would be interesting, and Muniz and Pyfer would be fun. Let's do them. Nothing more to say. After that, we head to our banger of a co-main to the co-main, as we have Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Touchy Theory. First of all, go rewatch this fight. Amazing fight. This should have also got a fight of the night bonus. Second of all, what are these two made out of? In round 1, Wood hurt Feely bad, almost got a finish. In round 2, Feely hurt Wood bad, almost got a finish. In round 3, they fought a lot smarter, and it pretty much could go either way. I scored for Feely, judges gave to Wood, you could give it either way. What a great fight. Exactly what we predicted though. Like, I remember I made a tweet on Monday last week. This is gonna be fight of the night, and it easily could have been between this and Parsons. This fight was great. These two are dogs, man. These two are fucking dogs. But we know that. We know Andre Feely was a gangster. Dude, he don't care. Wood, we know he's talented, but does he have that dog in him? Yes, he does. He definitely has that dog in him, and he looks great. He looks, ever since his move up and comeback, he looked great. So, yeah, Wood's just looking amazing as a fighter. And then for Andre Feely, not very much you can say. It's Andre Feely. He's never gonna make a run for a bout. But he's always just gonna have fun fights, cause that's what he does best. Win, lose, gonna be a banger. So, yeah, not very much more to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Nathaniel Wood, I would like to see him against JSP, Jonathan Pierce. I think that'd be a great fight. And winner gets a ranking. Wood, Murphy, JSP, and Brito are pretty much in the same position. They all pretty much can or deserve a ranking, but I want to have them fight each other. Makes sense to me. And then for Andre Feely, Nate the Train. Nate the fucking Train. Ooh, my god, that's a fight. Do that now. Book it immediately. We want to see it. Please. Yeah, not much to say. I can't do this fight justice. Go rewatch it if you missed it. What a banger. And who should they fight next? I like Nathaniel Wood versus JSP, Jonathan Pierce. And I like Andre Feely versus Nate the Train. Pierce and Wood. Makes sense. Would be fun. And Feely versus Landwehr. You got yourself the fight of the night on whatever card it's gonna be at. So, yeah. Book those fights. Great fight between two brawlers. After that, we enter our co-main event of the evening. The funniest fight of the year. Julia Stodarenko versus Molly McCann. Are you fucking kidding me? You literally just had to not go to the ground, and you would have won. You get taken down and subbed in 2 minutes? What the fuck is wrong with Molly and Patty? They are fucking embarrassments. I like Molly more than Patty. I think she's a better fighter. But dude, what the fuck? You just had to stay on your feet and you would have won. Why did you go to the ground? Well, why did you have no takedown defense? Is what I should have asked. My bad. Did you not know she was gonna fucking take you down the second she could? She can't strike. Molly looked good on the feet. Just the second it hit the ground, she has no idea what she's doing. I want to feel bad for Molly to an extent because she's actually likable, unlike Patty. But in the same breath, no, you lost to a layup, dummy. Real embarrassing shit. And what can you say about Stolyarenko? She showed up and shut everyone up. Everyone thought, me included, she was gonna lose and get cut. Like she probably should have. But she showed up and shut everyone the fuck up. Let alone she actually made 125. How, I don't know. But respect to her, man. Mad respect to her for that one. How you made that weight, I'll never know. But maybe she's gonna make a run. She just got a huge fucking win. The biggest one of her career. Now what? Who can Julia Stolyarenko fight next? You got some options. Lipsky, Joanne Wood. I like that Wood fight. Wood, wise veteran. Makes sense. Let's do that. And Andrea Lee, or not Andrea Lee, Joanne Wood, not Nathaniel Wood, versus Julia Stolyarenko. Makes sense. Would be fun. And for Molly, I don't know. You're not going to give her a reasonable opponent because she's going to lose. But now you can't even give her a layup because she might lose. I don't know what they're going to do with her at the next London card they do, because what do? If you feed her a can, she might lose. And if she actually beats them, what does it show? And who? You can't get much worse than Julia Stolyarenko, man. So who are you going to fucking give her? Maria Akapova? Molly's gonna become a fucking wrestler. Kay Hansen? Shit. It's fucking weird, man. Molly has striking talent, just she sucks the second that she gets technique involved. The weirdest shit I've ever seen. Whatever. Great shock upset for Julia Stolyarenko. And who should they fight next? I like Stolyarenko versus Joanne Wood. And Meatball Molly, I don't even know what to say, man. Great upset by Julia Stolyarenko. And in our main event of the evening, long story short, Tom fucking Aspinall said, "I'm back, bitches." Wow. He ran through Marcin Tybura like Marcin Tybura was a fucking joke. That was a fucking mauling. Aspinall looked... How did he get better? He got fucking better. What the fuck? He was already great before. He got better. I don't fucking get it. But Tom Aspinall, man, this man's gonna be holding a belt or fighting for it one day. He is so good. It's kind of silly. But what? He deserves it, man. He's really good. He's just great. And now he's coming off a win against Tybura, taking no damage. Dude, he could step in anytime, fight anyone. I'll talk about what I think they should do with him next in a second. So, but yeah, Tom's back. To talk about Marcin a little bit, I feel bad for him to an extent because he did get completely fed to the wolves. He had really no chance. Like, and again, he builds up these win streaks just to lose them. 5 in a row, Volkov. 2 in a row, Aspinall. What, he's gonna win another 3 in a row and then meet fucking Jailton Almeida or some shit? It's like, dude, dude can't. And now he's pretty much fought everyone in the rankings. Like, who has he not fought in the heavyweight rankings? Let's see. Darkest, but he's a light heavyweight. So Jorginho, Jay Altan, he fought Spivak. Ty, I think. Yeah, so he hasn't fought Ty, Curtis, stupid, I don't count, Cyril or Pavlovich. But besides the top dudes, he's not fought Ty and Jorginho. So, dude kind of has slim pickings for a fight at this point. Marchain's a good fighter, just he had nothing for Aspinall. He had fucking nothing for Aspinall. It was kind of hard. It's kind of funny looking back how he had literally nothing for Tom Aspinall. Oof. Poor Tybura. But, now, yeah, and who should Tybura fight next? Jorginho? 10 versus 12. I don't think Jorginho's booked right now, so. Unless Jorginho's booked right now, Marcin would make a lot of sense. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds like a good fight. But now talk about what I think you should do with Tom Aspinall. You should have Tom Aspinall fight Sergey Pavlovich next year for the vacant heavyweight belt. Let him relax, get ready. Tell him in advance. Be like the week of 295 when you know Jones is retiring. Tell Aspinall and Pavlovich you're gonna fight each other for the belt. And when Jones retires, vacates the belt, these two are ready to fight maybe January, and we get a new heavyweight champion. Can you name two better fighters for this at heavyweight? Don's trash. No one cares about Blades. The only other guy is Jailton Almeida, but I think he should beat Blades and then maybe one more, like Don or some shit. So this fight, you gotta do this fight. The two best heavyweights in the world, not named John Jones. Oh, do it, man. I think we all want to see it. I think this could go either way. I really don't know which side of the coin I'm on. Aspinall is more technical. Pavlovich is just a fucking beast. Either way, we're getting a heavyweight, a good heavyweight champion. So I hope they listen to me and do that. I hope they don't have Tom fight Gon or Spivak or fucking Jailton Almeida. So yeah, I don't know. But Tom's a fucking beast. Nothing more to say. So yeah, very little to say about this fight besides Aspinall is back and better. Dude is a gangster. And who should they fight next? I like Aspinall versus Pavlovich, and I like Tybura versus Jorginho. Both make sense. Let's do it. Not much more to say. That was the card. Boom. To go over the bonuses. Performance of the night to Tom Aspinall and Paul Craig. Fight of the night to Johnny Parsons. I agree with this, and I agree with this. Even though I would give Feely and Wood another fight of the night. So 2 fight of the nights, and yeah, bonus wise, I would have gave one to Julia Stolyarenko over Paul Craig. But besides that, yeah, really little bonus worthy content here. Filho. Yeah, Filho, Craig, and Julia is the only ones you can really give a bonus. And I think I'd put Craig at the bottom of that list. But whatever. Pretty much everyone got a bonus that deserved it. I did pretty good on picks. 9 of 15, 4 perfect, 605. The only pick I'm mad about is Culibao, because that was just a bad pick. Muniz, it happens. Molly, Jesus. Kianzad, I'm mad about the pick because of the fighter, not the fight. Ashmoose got hurt. Bannon, just terrible game plan, so. So, not a bad night picking. Hard to, you could do really bad on one of these cards, trust me. But I did fine. And, yeah, right, not much more to say. The card happened. If I was telling you, if you missed the card now, I was telling you what to rewatch. Filho, Muradov, Parsons for sure, Marcos for sure, and then the last 4 fights, I would say. So these 4, these 2, and Filho, and Muradov. So a good chunk of the card. You can skip this. You can pretty much skip this. This was not that good. Skip. Yeah, underwhelming. Skip both of these or you're gonna fall asleep. And yeah, so yeah, I would say we watch a good chunk of the card if you missed it or you missed that fight. So not really much more to say. That was the card. Hope you enjoyed the video. You'll hear from me next week for a breakdown of UFC 292 Poirier versus Gaethje. That fight's gonna be insane. That card is insane. I can't wait. And you'll hopefully hear from me Sunday 1 p.m. EST for a recap. Again, sorry about the recap being late. I was not feeling it yesterday. Card was early as shit. By the time it was over, I was tired as shit. And by the time I would have recorded, I would be tired of fuck and passed out. So I just pushed it off. So I don't know. I doubt y'all give a fuck that much, but I like to keep the schedule, so I'll try and get the recap for 292 out on Sunday. But if I don't, then 10 a.m. on Monday morning will be when you get it. So yeah. But yeah, not much more to say. Fine card, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, sub, 100 subs go by the end of the year. Tell me what you saw of the card, your picks, whatever the fuck you want to tell me. And let's not forget to say something. As always, RX out. No one walked out to Sweet Caroline. L.